thank you for joining me. This is Cooking with Cod3Theory. Today I'm going to be making apple chips. What you'll need for that is a baking pan with a baking sheet. You want your oven preheated to 200 degrees. You're going to need like a medium-sized mixing bowl and about 5 to 6 apples. Today I'm using Gala apples, but you could also use Fiji, Honeycrisp. You could even use a variety of different apples to make apple chips. So I've already cut up about 4 apples, and I've put them in a bowl with water and about a 1/4 cup of sugar. Sugar can help prevent apples from browning. It kind of helps. If these were just in water, they would still brown. But because I have a little sugar in there, it's going to take a little longer. There's a few ways to do this. If you have a mandolin, which is a tool used in the kitchen for cutting things like tomatoes and onions, then that would be the preferred method. But if you have just a regular knife, what you're going to do is I'm going to show a little trick to do that. You're going to cut off the top, so the part where the stem is, not the bottom. You're going to cut that off. Try to make as even as possible. Alright, and you'll see we have the core here. And the way you want to do this to ensure size consistency is you want to slice it this way, which is unconventional, but that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take this knife, and a little trick I'm going to do is I'm going to put kind of like a square. I'm going to cut around this apple core, and I'll show you what that's going to do in a minute here. So I'm not going too deep. And then I'm going to slice real carefully here. And you'll see when I do that, I can pretty much pop this right out. So the core, because I cut it, if you do it right, that should come right out. And there you go. That's your apple chip. So, and I'm going to do this while I slice this apple down to ensure that the core does come out. Otherwise, you will have to slice it out. So again, you'll see that, and that's what it's supposed to do. It's just supposed to pop right out, so you can slice a few slices, and then, core down a little more. See that? Just comes right out. So, and then I'm gonna just make sure, go through these little slits, just go deeper as I go. The reason why you don't want to just go ahead and stab the knife all the way through the apple, rather than the way I'm doing it, is because if you do that, it'll be really hard to get the knife out of the apple, and you become higher risk for hurting and injuring yourself. So that's why I'm not going all the way down. I'm not stabbing all my knife all the way through the apple. So that's fine if you nick it, that's fine. As long as you get a half of the apple. These are going to shrink. Another reason why I'm slicing the apple this way is because these are going to turn 3 times smaller. So you want to make sure, not only you want it to be as consistent as possible, but you want them to be a little bigger than if I were to cut it a different way. And the reason why you want to use a bowl with some water and even some sugar is because you can tell I'm just cutting this apple and it's already starting to brown. So I have that water to kind of preserve the apples longer while I'm doing this. And I'm going to cut this apple down pretty much as far as I can safely chop it. So you'll see when it's ready to get in there again, and it'll be harder to get the core out. So that's how you'll know you'll need to go a little deeper down. Like every other time, every 2 or 3 slices of the apple, you're going to have to go down a little more. So that it pops out right out again. You'll see there's some seeds in there. I'm probably only going to do 1 or 2 more slices. And you can tell I'm trying to make these as thin as I can. So obviously, because they're chips. Okay. So the next step is I'm going to come right over here to my pan, and I'm going to bring over the cinnamon. And then these are okay if they're a little wet. It'll actually help the cinnamon stick. So you want to spread these out real well. And these are going to cook for roughly 4 hours, give or take. So you're also, if you do this recipe, you're going to have to check on them like every hour, flip them, rotate the pan. For this first round, they're going to go in for an hour, and then I'm going to flip them, do some more cinnamon on the other side, and then for another hour and do the same thing. So for every hour they cook is an hour that I'm going to flip and rotate the pan. And it's okay if they overlap a little bit. Like I said, they are going to get quite a bit smaller in size just in general. Okay, that should be good. We'll put these aside. So I'll put them in the oven, and actually I'm going to do the sugar, ground cinnamon. So just a little dusting. Just a nice little dusting. Okay, and now they're ready to go, and it's that simple. All it is, sliced apples, some cinnamon, and just a little bit of patience. So I'm going to put these in the pan, and also, I have my oven. If you want to do this as well, before you put these in the oven, you want to have it to the highest rack or the second to highest rack. That's another important thing. Go ahead, cut. Alright, so I have my apple chips. They're ready here. I'm going to zoom in and see. So these do take about 4 hours, and they do need to be checked every hour. After the first hour, you want to flip them and do another dusting of cinnamon. Again, 4 hours, 200 degrees. The last hour, you want to really, really keep an eye on them because it's really easy to burn them. That's probably, get out of there, the hardest part about the apple chips, not the overall process of preparing and making them, but the last little bit where you really have to keep an eye on them to prevent them from burning. Definitely something I'd highly recommend, otherwise really easy to do. Thank you for watching. Check me out, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm also on Mixcloud and SoundCloud. Just type in one of those websites and do /Cod3Theory. That's COD3THEORY. I'll see you next time.